Ryan's question is up next. He says, I have enough cash to pay for my upcoming car purchase. So that's great. But he also says, I qualify for a promotional 2.9% over 36 months. Should I finance with the 23/8 car buying rule and keep the cash in a high yield savings? Or should he just put the cash on it and be done with it? What do you think?
So he has cash to pay for the car purchase, or he could borrow at 2.6%.
2.9% over 36 months.
2.9% over 36 months.
Yeah, but there's some additional things that I would ask. First of all, back in the day, it was not uncommon that you find out that manufacturers are offering you, because a 2.9% mortgage is lower than where market rates are on car loans. So somebody's paying extra, paying a premium out there to give you this loan at 2.9%. When I hear that there's a premium being paid for something, I'm sitting here as a financial mutant with cash in my pocket that can pay for this car. I'm sitting there going, hey, instead of paying the finance arm of this company or the manufacturer, I'm sure they might have another side of this coin where they say, hey, for people who don't take the subsidized 2.9%, we can give them an extra $1,500 or $2,500 or $3,500 off the purchase of this car. Mm-hmm. Now, having cash is better. Now, this is something I learned the hard way. We've always heard cash is best. And look, I'm all about, I think the last 4 cars I've paid cash, and let me qualify that definition. I've paid cash because my car was paid off within the 12 months. This is why when I do the 23/8 rule and I talk about luxury cars or nice cars, I say you have to pay them off same as cash within 12 months. The reason I put that little caveat in there is that I have found that most dealerships now make more money off of financing than they actually do selling you the car. So if you're buying a new car, you have to go into this transaction knowing that, because there's a chance that I know with my wife's last car, me and the dealer worked it out. That I was like, look, I got cash in my pocket. I'm going to pay for this car. He goes, yeah, but if you will finance this car for 3 months, I can give you an additional $1,200 off. I was like, wow, wait a minute. You telling me, and I did the math on the interest of the smallest amount he would need me to finance. I was like, I'm still going to come out to the good, like $800 or $900. So I was like, you know what? I'll take that deal.
I'll do it.
And so that's why I don't mind you, Ryan. You have options because you have cash in your pocket. It's just, but you need to think like a financial mutant and figure out how you navigate this. It's not the 23/8 also is a mindset to give you reliable transportation so you can get to your job and other things. If you have cash in your pocket and this is now, you're thinking like a financial mutant, I'm still always going to default that I love paying cash for cars, as long as you've gone through the other steps of the financial order of operations to know what's the next thing that I actually need to spend this money. And because I'm worried, just because you have cash, because I don't know if you came into a windfall, I don't want you buying too nice of a car if you're just not there lifestyle-wise. I mean, you probably have something to share on that, Bo.
Yeah, look, this is a personal bias, and I don't mind throwing a personal bias out there. I just don't like car payments. Yeah. I just don't like car payments. I mean, I'm not presently buying luxury cars, so the currently cars that I own would not fall into the luxury camp. And
what are you talking about? Minivan's not a luxury car?
Right. So these vehicles that my wife and I own presently, we could have opted for 23/8, and it would have been like reliable transportation. But when we look at our financial picture, we think about the goals that we're trying to achieve, and we think about our savings, right? Like, does the arbitrage for trying to do the 2.9% versus what I have in my high yield account versus the car payment I have going down, for me, in my financial situation, it just didn't seem justifiable. So I am always going to defer to just pay cash. Pay cash, get the car on. Don't worry about having a loan on an asset that becomes less and less and less and less valuable through time. The reason we did 23/8 is so that you had an option if you were not in that position. Not so that if you are in that position, you can figure out how to gamify. If you want to figure out how to gamify your money, there are much more fun ways to do that than arbitrage on auto loans. There are much more ways you can put your money to work in a much more useful manner than automobile arbitrage. And so if you're in that situation, I would ask this question, okay, what am I doing? Am I really thinking about this the right way? Or am I just wasting mental calories on something I shouldn't be wasting mental calories on, where I could be focusing on something else that would be a better use of my time? That's my personal bias. And
you said what was important. 23.8 is a bridge to reliable transportation. Mm-hmm. You will I'm hoping everybody who reaches step 8 of prepaid future expenses and abundance goals understands I want people paying cash for cars. I mean, that's the reality. When we do our millionaire survey of all of our clients, people who have money aren't financing their car. You're paying cash for it. 23.8 is reliable transportation access. Mm-hmm. I've tried to create this journey starting from zero to building multiple generation wealth, is that I know that there's a time to start my journey. I just need to get to work.
Yep.
I had to get to my job. And I didn't have enough money. I graduated college with not a dime in the bank. So I had to figure out what's the path for people who start at zero. And that's what I've tried to create for you guys. It's not a way for you to go finance your Mercedes, BMW, or whatever else, 8 abundance goal type thing that you have out there. So don't lose the intent of 23.8. It is for reliable transportation. If you're sitting on cash, pay for the cars or napalm for your financial life. So you need to pay them off as fast as possible.